Welcome back to Journey On. It's everything happening with Journey Fellowship, and once again a 33-minute warm-up led to some fantastic conversations. Yeah, it's like we do this. It's back timing. It's a radio thing. It's what we do. We always start at 7:33 p.m. on Monday evenings to talk about what's happening. So
there you go,
Pastor Karl. Welcome back.
Thank you. Welcome back welcome back,
all of
Jim.
Us. Yeah, welcome.
Sure, everybody.
So you spent some time. Do you mind if we talk about where you were this last weekend?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's fine.
You do mind? No, you don't mind.
I'm never sure how to answer that question.
Yes,
I would like to if you want to.
We would love to talk about it. As part of your role as a pastor, every year you get to take some classes to kind of keep up your certification, accreditation.
Correct.
Pastoralship. Yep. And what did you learn this year? What did you take?
This was a very interesting class, and I was curious to take it. It was called Foundations of Women in Ministry.
All right.
And so it was a great class. Peggy Wagner taught the class. A lot of there were pastors from Sioux Falls, Minneapolis, Bismarck. Or I should say Mandan. Yep, Fargo.
Right. Fargo.
Minot, a couple of so a good group of people, a lot of talkers, which was great. So good discussion because and what's really interesting, and if you're familiar with women in ministry, there seems to be, I want to say there's no gray area, but I'm sure there's probably some people that have a gray area, some denominations, but there's some denominations that take, that 1 Corinthians and 1 Timothy, they take that verbatim, and it says women should be silent in church, and women cannot teach, and so on, and those same exact verses that they use to prove why women shouldn't lead and preach and teach are the same exact verses that we, the Nazarene denomination that believe women can preach and teach, we use the same verses. So it was really curious, and we also have some stuff like Romans 16. I know you're a Romans fan. Romans 16, where Paul lists all the females that have been prophesying and supporting and doing ministry right along with him. It was really interesting. It was a great time. I have to admit, I missed being in church because I love my church family, and so it's like I feel it felt like I was missing, because I was a family event. I was missing a family event. So modern technology, I got to watch you. So, and I do want to talk about that, whether you want to or not. But,
it's only fair for the 90% of the time that we do it the other way around. So that's only fair.
It was all good. It was
good.
All good.
I'm glad you attended. And just to be sure, because of where we're at in society these days, you're not planning to become a woman in ministry, are you?
No.
Okay.
That never came up as a matter. I never thought about it till now. Now I have to think about it. No.
Yeah. No, I don't. I was pretty sure that was the answer, but just to make sure there's no rumors out there, since that's what we talked about. Okay.
No, let's nip those in the bud. I'm good.
Excellent. So a lot of things that are coming up, but let's talk about this last week. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on Inquiring Minds. How do I know God is talking to me? And for those that have watched the service already, great, you're along with us. If not, we have it available on YouTube. But so Karl, we really haven't had a chance to talk since you saw the message. So lay it on me.
No. Okay. Well, I think you did, again, and not just patting your ego or blowing smoke. I think you're naturally so engaging that honestly, it was easy to listen to. It flowed really, really well. You're still your best audience. You crack you up, and then you crack me up. So that's why we get along so well. I was watching.
Only
online.
A fool laughs at his own jokes, and I am absolutely a fool. Yeah.
Oh man, I was laughing hard, and I hope everyone else was laughing too, because there was some really good stuff. The one thing I do want to talk about is Ananias. You remember you were talking about Ananias, and I believe that's in Acts 9:10. When Ananias is told by God to go to basically rescue Paul from his blindness, and Ananias says, "Yes, Lord," like you said. And I just want to talk about because I believe that people can hear from themselves
Hmm.
or even from Satan. I believe they can hear, and you did a great job of answering it. But then that specific thing, God does give us ways that we know it's
Mm.
him,
Good.
you know. And
So
go ahead.
okay, yeah, no, I would expand on that, please, because uh, that's something that I didn't talk a whole lot about, and I would love to expand on, is the idea that how not only how do I know God is talking to me, how do I know it's God that's talking to me? Like that's
How
the
do I know it's
extension
God?
of that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
what are some ways? Yeah.
like you said, God is never going to contradict himself.
Hmm.
So if I should have taken time to think of an example, but if God is saying, oh, here's an example. If I feel like God is saying, oh, I need to divorce my wife and start dating someone younger, my neighbor, right?
Hmm.
Um, how do I know that's not from God? Because I might feel very strongly that that's the message I'm getting. Well, number one, my wife has never done anything that would constitute me divorcing her and
Right.
has loved me unconditionally. And if we were giving out awards, my wife should definitely get 2 or 3 for having to put up with me. But so first of all, God is not into divorce. He's not about divorce. He's not
Hmm.
encouraging divorce. As a matter of fact, it's the exact opposite.
Right.
And then for me to go with somebody else, that goes against the character and the word of God. So right there in just that little segment right there, it can't be the voice of God. It can't be the word of God. It can't be from God because it contradicts God.
Mm.
Right.
Right.
And you did say that when you're reading through and you find something that seems contradictory, and I don't remember exactly how I said it, but you're misunderstanding something
Mm.
because it won't contradict itself.
Right.
God will not contradict himself. And I think a lot of times people, I wish I could just hear from God. I wish God would tell me what to do, what's my purpose? And the
Mm.
Bible's filled with it.
Right.
Love him, love others.
Right.
Yeah, but how? In every way.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we can definitely confuse things. But so more specifically, when God says to Ananias, he sends him to somebody who knows he's coming. So had Ananias got there and this guy would have said, "Who are you?"
Mm.
Boom, bail,
Yeah.
But God said he knows you're coming. He gives him the address and he gives
Yeah.
him
That's so
very
funny.
specific details that if any one of
Mm.
those things, if he'd have gone, there's not a house on Straight Street, there's
Right.
this isn't right. And so, but God, that's the beauty of God is he's already been there. He already knows
Hmm.
he's bringing us along. So,
Right.
so
Right.
God does have details and God is going to never contradict himself. And those are just two that I drew from what you said. And God can be in the whisper. And I love that
Mm.
Elijah story. He also, I think sometimes, and maybe more so with you and I, maybe more so than with other people, he sometimes is in the thunder and the earthquake
Oh.
too with us. Because
Mm.
some people, I've always said there's the hug and the hit. There's two ways to inform people,
Right.
hugging and hitting.
Hmm.
Most people need a hug. They need to know, I love you, and here's my direction.
Yeah.
There's some of us, sometimes we need a punch in the arm and go, oh yeah, I am being kind of a dork. Yeah. So
And then there's like our men's group, our Bible study on Thursdays in Bismarck here. I think we've mastered the hug and punch at the same time. I think we do both.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's something we work on frequently. So, well, thank you for the kind words, and I really do appreciate that opportunity
Yeah,
to study and give the messages, and I hope to do more of that coming up down the road.
I hope you do too.
And I
I
want to
do want
continue
to.
to extend. Oh, please.
Oh, I want to say one more thing because you've said this to me, and I want to give you this offering. Is there anything that you feel like you didn't get a chance to say, or you're looking back and you're going, "Oh, that would have been good. I wish I'd have said that." Is there anything like that?
I think a couple words that I probably could have used more throughout it because words are really important to me,
Yeah.
and it has to do with this. It's context and discernment,
Oh yeah.
and kind of what we talked about. I think it fit both of those, and I kind of spoke around the words, but
Sure.
it helps us determine if it's God's voice also, and it also helps us in the hindsight, not just in the moment. I think I've learned more about hearing from God in my what I've witnessed in the past. Sometimes it's hard to hear in the moment, especially if my being is being noisy,
Sure.
which
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
thunder, right?
Yep.
Because busy with work, thinking about other things. But looking back, to just use context, like was that a God moment? Was that God talking to me through a person? Well, just like you said, well, if it fits what God intends, if it's good, if it's from God, it'll match. Like it all lines up.
Yep. Yep.
And then discernment in the moment, like what is all happening around me, and that helps
Yeah.
bring that message out. So I hope it helped. I hope people got something from it, and I know they did. Thank you to those that approached me
Hmm.
after the messages. I always appreciate that also. And then I wanted to extend 2 points that I talked about. Have you accepted Jesus? That was the first point in the discussion about the challenge of how we begin building our confidence in faith. It starts with,
Okay.
have you accepted Christ? And if Jesus as your Savior, if the answer is yes, okay, now we can begin the work. And what I talked about in the message is if
Yeah.
if someone witnessing that at the time or in a recording or now, if you haven't, that I just encourage you, if you're questioning that at all, to talk to us because everybody has answers. It took me a long time to understand what that really meant, and I'd like to share that experience
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
someone. So if you're in that position, and the same with praying, if it's uncomfortable for a person that's watching this, or if you know of someone that struggles with it, it's another thing that I think the more we talk about, the easier it becomes. And I just
Yep.
wanted to extend that a little bit here as
Yeah.
well. Yeah.
Fantastic. And I want to add on to that a little bit. As you grow, if you're accepting Jesus, you're basically a newborn in Christianity, if you will.
Hmm.
Uh, the more you get to know Jesus, and then the question would be, how do I get to know Jesus? But the more you get to know Jesus, the more you start to realize and distinguish or discern, I love that word,
Hmm.
his voice from all the other voices.
Right. Right.
And how do you get to know Jesus? Well, you get to know Jesus, man, these are churchy answers. Praying, reading,
Hmm.
and being around those who are like-minded. I mean,
Yeah.
those are the biggies. That's how you get to know the character and the voice of Jesus. And then I think the discernment between, is that really God? It becomes a lot easier.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and
For sure. Good.
yeah,
Well, thanks for that. And we'll continue with Inquiring Minds. We have a message
yeah,
coming up this weekend, and you're back at the I guess we don't really have a pulpit. You're back at the music stand.
sure. I'm back at the music stand. Yep,
All
yep.
right. And what do we have coming up?
I think this will be the last installment on the Inquiring Minds for now, anyway. We'll maybe come back and revisit it.
Sure.
'Cause, what was interesting about this particular series is as we were answering questions, people were giving me follow-up questions.
Mm.
And I think that's great. We could have Inquiring Minds part two or
Part
follow-up
two.
or
Yeah.
yeah,
More
Inquiring Minds make
more
more
Inquiring Minds.
Inquiring Minds. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so who knows when or what that'll look like.
We could
So
even do a series. We could steal that book series. We could call it God for Dummies. And we could just list all of them because we are.
right, right, is that the truth? Yeah. Sure. But anyway, so this week we're looking at Inquiring Minds, and this is a question that came up during our Inquiring Minds series, and I
Hmm.
thought how appropriate to end it with this because it is kind of if you remember the very first question, how do we know there's a God? How do we know God exists? That's the
Right.
biggie,
That's
right?
where we start.
Because
Yep.
if you don't know God exists or you don't believe in God, well, none of the other stuff we talked about would you care about.
Right. Right.
None,
Yeah.
zero.
Then it's just noise. Yep.
And so if we've answered all these questions, which I truly believe we've answered them to a point where people could say, you know what, I can get behind that.
Mm.
Or, maybe that wasn't the complete answer. Well, some of these don't have complete answers,
Right.
you
Right.
know? And like you said, I forget, I will get to the answer, Jim, but you said, not everybody audibly hears the voice of
Mm.
God. There are
Right.
people who have, and for those who have, that's life changing. It's
Right.
it's transformative, right?
Hmm.
Well, not everybody gets that. So the rest of us are playing catch up unless we've actually heard the audible voice of God. So I thought if we've answered those questions,
Hmm.
and people can get behind that. They're like, okay, what's my next step? We're doing this week, Inquiring Minds. Why would I want to join a church?
Hmm.
Yeah. What are
Yeah.
the benefits? Why would I want to join a church? Why organize religion,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
I'm going to be answering a lot of that stuff.
Good. So that's yeah, that's great. Is there now? I could imagine that there's a lot in maybe Acts that would
Yep.
back that up. That's probably a
Yep.
good
Acts
place
2
to.
specifically.
Yeah. Yep. Acts 2 is a good place to read. That's funny. I
Yeah.
just mentioned that this last weekend. Acts
Yes, you
2 is a
did.
great. Yeah, it's the Pentecost. It's a great. So if you didn't read it because I said it, read it because Karl said it. How about that?
Yeah. Acts 2. Yeah,
Acts
there
2.
you go.
Yeah.
And there's quite a bit of scripture. I'm going to actually see if anyone would be interested in reading um, Hebrews 10, specifically the latter part of Hebrews 10, but Hebrews 10.
Okay.
And I would also maybe encourage, and I'm just kind of looking at my notes.
Mm,
I think those are good. Acts 2, Hebrews 10. Yeah. And if
that'll
someone
be
wants to
good.
branch out, Matthew 20, fantastic.
Mm.
Um, so yeah.
I'm watching The Chosen right now, and I'm at a
Okay.
point in season 3 where Matthew, they portray him I think we've talked about it here before. Matthew is portrayed as having what we would consider like Asperger's or something like
Sure.
that. Like he's socially really awkward, but really good with writing things down and remembering things specifically. So now, just because of that, and I know it's not biblically 100% accurate. But
Sure.
the way that they've done that now, it puts in my mind anytime we talk about Matthew, I've got that picture in my head that he's always writing these things down. It's very
Oh, for sure.
specific. It's exactly how it happened. So that's kind of expanded my brain's idea of what Matthew is all about anyway. So
Cool.
good. So some things to read. Why would I want to join a church? And that's going to be a good message that we can share with others. So
Yeah.
we're just coming into uh, Christmas Eve. As a matter of fact, we'll talk about that here in a second. But this
Yes.
message would be good to help us gain the confidence in answering that question for others. So when we invite
I
someone to
think so.
Christmas Eve service, and then we can have a conversation based on this. So good timing. You have the stamp of approval. I think that's
All
going to
right.
work great. Christmas Eve service is 4:30,
4:30.
and it's both in Fargo and Bismarck at the same time.
Yep.
And yeah, so we'll get together, and I know we've had like the hot chocolate and the snacks. There's going to be snacks. Come on,
Yeah.
and
During
and
fellowship.
and fellowship, and it won't go longer than what 3-4 hours. Is that
It
your
won't.
plan?
It won't go longer than 3, 4 hours. I can't imagine the hand signals my wife would be giving me if I went
Yeah.
3, 4 hours.
Yeah.
No, we're going to keep it, and I'll say this too. If someone's watching that isn't part of our church or is
Mm.
just trying to maybe figure out if Christianity is for them or giving Jesus a try, Christmas Eve, as much as it feels like it's a great time, and it is a great time for people to get together,
Mm.
everything is warm and cozy, and people are friendly and smiling. Everybody, it just feels our world is warm,
Mm.
right, and
Mhm.
inviting.
Yeah.
And Christmas Eve is as much for seekers and new believers.
Mm.
I would say, and I want to be careful, maybe more so than for the family,
Right.
for the
Right.
actual family. And it's great to get together, and we are
Mhm.
supposed to get together and celebrate. And what a wonder, the birth of Jesus. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
that's the beginning of that era. And but
Yeah.
it is for people that traditionally it's one of the 3 times of the year where people are very open to, what, maybe we should go to
Mm.
church. And so
So
the
one is
message,
one is Easter. What's the other one?
uh, potluck. Well,
Oh,
potluck.
okay. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I've always heard there was two. Am I missing a holiday? Am I missing an opportunity to have food? Carl, you got to tell me
No,
if I'm
no,
missing
you're
it.
good.
Okay. All right.
I guess it's more than three. For us, it'd be
Yeah.
it'd be 12 plus 2. So there's 14 real
Yeah.
good times a year to invite people.
Yep.
Chili contest, whatever. But
That's
you
another
know,
one. Yeah. Just keep adding them in. Or just a
right.
Saturday or Sunday. There's always that. Yeah.
That's right.
Any given day.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Christmas Eve, and then the next week,
Yep.
because it happens to fall on the calendar that way, we have the New Year's Eve game night. And again, these are both happening in Bismarck and Fargo.
Yep.
Fargo, I know they're planning to start at 5:30.
That's what I heard. Yep.
Yeah,
That's
and
what I
then in
heard.
Bismarck, just because we have to win at something, we're going to start at 4 o'clock. So
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
but we're doing that because, frankly, because I took the day off from work and I want to get there and just kind of get things set up and hang out
Yeah.
with people. And we'll probably
Yeah.
go till like 8, 9 o'clock, something like
Yep.
that, for sure done. And I actually heard a lot of feedback from people saying that, yeah, they would like to be done early for one of two reasons. They want to get on to another party, or for people like me, they want to get on to not going to anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get on to my dogs and my bed.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we'll have some games set up. And I know in Fargo, T has got some stuff already lined up and she's getting
Hmm.
things organized. So lots of stuff coming there. I
Cool.
think that's it. Anything else that we're Bismarck has the potluck. And no, Fargo's doing potlucks on the 3rd,
Starting in January.
starting in
Starting in
January.
January.
So
Yep.
in Bismarck this coming weekend, it's the anti-holiday potluck. So
Oh,
no turkey, no Christmassy cookies, no stuffing, mashed potatoes. It's opposite of what you would do for a
okay.
holiday.
Okay.
Now, someone
Okay.
did say
Anti
they
kind of scared me. I'm like, what are we against
Yeah.
holidays?
No, we're against having the same thing that we're going to have
Yeah.
next week, the
Yeah,
next week.
that makes
So
total sense.
something
That
different.
makes
So I
total
know
sense.
there's corn dogs are planned, some
Oh,
hot
nice.
dogs, corn dogs, there's
Nice, nice, nice.
chips and dips and things like that. So yeah, just kind of a palate cleanser between Thanksgiving and Christmas. How about that,
That's
for you
perfect.
guys? Yeah. All right. Well, any final thoughts that you have for us?
I do have a final thought, and more of a final challenge. So,
Ooh, all
what I
right.
would like people to start thinking about, especially with the new year coming,
Mm.
right? New Year's coming, and so often we see that as a fresh start and
Hmm.
a clean slate and new opportunity, right? And so to encourage people, because I think traditionally we know any what do they call that? A New Year's Eve, a New Year's resolution,
Yeah.
those don't usually last very long.
Yeah.
And so what I would like to do is I would like to get people thinking about because we're still in growth. This is
Mhm.
our growth year, right? That's our
Yeah.
word for the year, and growth. And so what I'd like people to start identifying is somebody that you can bring up and it's not a competition, but somebody that
Right.
maybe is not where you are in maturity. And I chuckle when I say that. You should too, Jim. But spiritual maturity, right?
Right. Right.
And then so somebody that we can bring along, someone who you can help with questions, or you can
Yeah.
help explain things, or introduce them to, just bring them along, mentor them, if you will. And
Yeah.
then also be looking for somebody to do that to you, because
There you
if
go.
I mean, none of us have it all figured out, and I have on speed dial. I have a couple pastors and some mentors that, I mean, that kind of resource is just so valuable, to be able to have somebody you trust. They're going to tell you what you need to know, not what you want to
Mhm.
know, and they're going to
Right.
keep you growing, keep you moving, keep you heading in the right direction. So
Yeah.
I encourage people to identify at least two people, somebody you can help and somebody who can help you, and then what to do with that. We'll talk about that this weekend. So if you have it
Cool.
identified by this weekend, we're going to get some answers.
Nice. See, it pays to watch these little blurps that we do. Get a
I think
heads
it
up
does.
on what's
Yeah.
happening. Yeah. So, all right. Well, that's great. Thank you for that, and thanks everybody for watching along. This is one of those episodes that would be great to send out to someone that maybe wouldn't normally watch it, and kind of
Mm.
give them an idea of what we talk about here and what our services are like, and
Yeah.
the fun things that are happening. So, if that's
Yep.
you, if you're somebody that received this, really looking forward to meeting you soon. And for those
Nice.
that always watch it, looking forward to seeing you as well. So,
As well.
December 15th, Merry Christmas in 10 days. That's amazing. We're almost there,
Out of
folks.
nowhere.
Amen. All right. We'll talk to you soon. God bless everybody.